Most people don't overspend on travel because flights are expensive. They overspend because they're traveling the wrong way. And when you actually look at the data, there are only 3 strategies that consistently reduce travel costs. Not by a little, but by hundreds of dollars every single week. Quick note before we start. All dollar amounts in this video are in US dollars. Travel culture today is obsessed with hacks. Everyone's chasing cheaper flights, free upgrades, and secret tricks that influencers swear will change everything. But when you strip all that away, most people aren't overspending because prices are rising. They're overspending because the way they travel quietly forces them to spend more, even when they think they're being smart about it. Let's start with the biggest mistake that travelers make. Strategy 1. Spend more upfront to spend less overall. This feels backwards, but the data is very clear on this. The travelers who spend the least overall don't always choose the cheapest option. They choose the option that reduces friction. Behavioral spending research shows that friction, things like long layovers, poor sleep, inconvenient locations, and constant transfers, is one of the strongest predictors of impulse spending. When people chase the lowest possible price, they usually introduce problems without realizing it. The cheap flight comes with exhausting layovers. The cheap accommodation is far from transport. The good deal slowly creates inconvenience. And those inconveniences don't stay abstract. They show up as more taxis, more eating out, more paid shortcuts, and more "we'll just spend the money" decisions. That's why a slightly more expensive apartment near public transport often ends up costing less overall. A direct flight can prevent an entire wasted day of spending. A comfortable long-term stay reduces the urge to constantly escape and spend money elsewhere. This isn't luxury travel, it's cost efficiency. Optimizing for the lowest sticker price often costs more in the long run. Optimizing for low friction almost always costs less. Strategy 2. Stay longer and cross fewer borders. This is the biggest structural lever in travel costs, and it works on 2 levels at once. Staying longer lowers your day-to-day spending. Crossing fewer borders lowers your reset costs. And together, those savings compound. Across booking platforms, accommodation prices drop sharply once you pass 7 days, and even more once you cross 30. Monthly discounts aren't generous add-ons. They're baked into how accommodation is priced. A place that costs around $100 a night can easily drop to $50 or $60 when booked long-term. That alone can save $300 to $500 per week. But the part most people underestimate is border crossings. Long-term travel spending data shows that frequent border crossings strongly correlate with higher average daily spend, even when travelers move between countries that are considered cheap. Every new country quietly resets your costs. Flights, visas, SIM cards, transport systems, and the learning curve of figuring everything out again. Small mistakes add up fast. That's why someone staying 2 months in one country almost always spends less than someone visiting 4 countries in the same time, even if those 4 countries look cheaper on paper. This isn't about discipline, it's about avoiding constant cost resets. Strategy 3. Stop following influencer recommendations. This one makes people uncomfortable, but it matters. Tourism demand data shows that once a destination, cafe, hotel, or so-called hidden gem becomes heavily promoted, prices rise faster than quality. Not because the place suddenly improves, but because demand spikes faster than supply can adapt. Influencer recommendations funnel thousands of people into the same places, at the same time, with the same expectations. And when that happens, pricing power shifts immediately. Accommodation raises rates because bookings are easy. Restaurants simplify menus and charge more. Tours scale up, rush people through, and lose the thing that made them appealing in the first place. You're no longer paying for a great experience, you're paying for visibility. There's another effect people don't talk about. Once something is widely recommended, the experience itself usually declines. Places get crowded, service becomes transactional, staff burn out, and the thing that made it feel special disappears. By the time you arrive, everyone already knows about it. You're not discovering anything, you're lining up for it. Travel spending data also shows that higher crowd density leads to higher daily spend, more convenience purchases, more paid shortcuts, more moments where it feels easier to just spend the money. That's why the lowest cost travelers avoid anything that feels overexposed. They walk a few streets further, they eat where menus aren't in English, they choose places with repeat local customers instead of queues. The controversial takeaway? If everyone online is recommending the same place, it's probably more expensive and less enjoyable than the alternatives right next to it. Once you stop chasing hacks, stay longer, reduce friction, and avoid influencer-driven hype, travel gets cheaper and better at the same time. But I'm curious, if you've traveled, you've probably seen these play out yourself. Drop your experiences in the comments, as we'd love to hear about it. If you're into theoretical, data-driven travel content, remember to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.